All right, everyone. I hope you like my birdie in the upper left-hand corner. So we are live right now, waiting for Max America himself to go live. He was supposed to go live at 9. If you're a little bit new to things here, it is not unusual for them to be late going live when they say that they are going to go live, but So we assume that it will be here soon. So an update on why this particular live is so important. There was a meltdown today on Frankie Bobby's stream, and the best way to understand what happened with that meltdown is to watch Lazy Gamer recap, or it's about a 10-minute video. So as you know, Frankie Bobby posted about a property with new beginnings, and everybody was under the impression, everyone assumed, that he was talking about new beginnings for the 76 RM restoration movement. Well, a lot of people either forgot or didn't understand that Frankie Bobby has an organization that is supposed to be kind of separate from the 1776 RM, which is the 1776 1 million Patriot March, I think is roughly what it's called. But in his video, he never specified specifically that the new property was not for 1776. He was, however, apparently tired of waiting for 1776 to get a property up and going. So there was some people from both the from 1776 RM and also the Qs who helped fund getting this property, who was in chat, and a lot of them were not happy as they felt they specifically were misled, and they were mad at him for being mad at them for being confused. The chat was in an absolute meltdown, and it was glorious. It was glorious to watch. I shouldn't say that, but it was glorious to watch. So we are hoping. Mag said it would be about 9 o'clock. But of course, he is not live yet. I can play you this.
I just wanted to get a short video out real quick just to tell the 1776 RM supporters, calm down. It'll be all right. I got a live coming up tonight at 9 p.m. Make sure you tune in. Hey everybody, I just wanted to get a short video out real quick just to tell the 1776 RM supporters, calm down. Everything's going to be all right. I got a live coming up tonight at 9 p.m. Make sure you tune in.
And, you know, apparently, it's possible he himself does not know certain things because he's been off site having to worry about some sick family members. So, you know, he's kind of been dealing a little bit with all of that and really isn't, I don't even think that Mags America knows for sure kind of everything that is going on. There are times that he kind of talks like he might be a little bit out of the loop on some things. So we'll see what his explanation is. As you can see from the clip that I just played, he's just telling everybody, you know, just relax, just relax. So hopefully he will be on here soon. So, you know, again, the misunderstanding here and the debate here that has caused him to have to go live tonight is confusion over the land that Frankie Bobby is using, that apparently is not specifically for 1776 RM, but an organization that he has been in the works on for a while. And supposedly Santa has known about this, but it sounds like not everybody was really in the loop. So I'm really hoping that I will get really, really mad at him during this stream, that he'll say a lot of crap that just won't make sense. I think you may have seen a video that I did. Make it make sense. You know you can't make it make sense. You can't. There's all kinds of shit that you cannot make sense when you're talking about the 1776 RM restoration movement. So hopefully Mag is going to help us get some things figured out. Where are you, Mag? Oh, here we go. Here we go, everybody.
Hey.
He doesn't have any sound yet, it doesn't look like.
I cracked myself up.
We can't hear you, Mags. Come on.
Silly.
Come on, Mags. Get it together. Let's go. These people are such boomers. Oh my God.
Whatever.
I'm just like gonna sit here and like look at my phone until you finally decide that you want to have like sound with whatever the fuck you're doing.
There we go. Hang on, I'm not looking at the chat. Give me 1 second.
Wait, I think we do have sound
here. I'm kind of waiting for people to get on anyway.
Okay, I guess that I'm an idiot here because we can't hear him, just not very well.
Mom was really good today. Mom had a good day today.
When I do crap like that, feel free to put F's in chat and tell me what an idiot I am. I'm going to boost him up a little bit. Why are you muting yourself? Stop muting yourself. You people, don't go live until you're actually ready to go live.
I was happy to hear that or see that.
Here we go.
That's good.
Jeez.
I asked her, she wanted me to read her some Bibles. She said yes. All right. Okay. Who else here? Hey, Lady Buckeye. Thank you, Prayer Warrior. Much appreciated.
Come on, let's do this. Let's go.
No, volume's up.
Oh my God. Am I more impatient than the dojo?
She had
I'm probably more impatient than the dojo.
She had a good day this morning. When I went in there, I got there at 9. She was sitting up eating breakfast by herself. It was good, real good. She was in and out a little bit, but.
Hey, Bunny B59. How you doing? I'm trying to not get like really extremely impatient with him to just get this fucking show on the road. We've been waiting for this for how many hours now? Come on.
Nope. Yeah. Oh, dog. So anything happened today?
Anything happened today?
Anything? Oh, that's unacceptable. 388 people, only 150 likes. Come on, go smash that like button. Can't start until I get likes. I need likes to fill my ego.
Can't start until he gets likes. Oh my God. Jesus,
that's where I find all my value. I'll wait.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing happened. Nothing going on.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Bunny.
Hey, Carly. It's fighting paleface smoking in corner. No, I don't.
I'm dropping viewers because you won't get started.
I was trying to get Patriot Q to come on, but he declined, I guess. RSP at MagAmerica's.com.
It's a good thing that this is not a real Oreo cookie burning, because it would be melted while we're waiting for you to get likes.
New.
It's amazing that people will stick around on their channel for this crap.
Wanda, Alice, Fireball. Yeah, I would say I'm indifferent, Anarchy. You're your character, but you're typically not out of control, so let's keep it there.
Anarchy Princess is in his chat.
Oh, that's a good idea, Joey Bag of Donuts. I brought her a bunch of games to play with us. Let me see here. Is that any better? Is that louder?
I can hear you just fine. Am I able to chat? Have I been subscribed long enough?
Apparently not. He wanted to do his own. He didn't want to come on here. Maybe he is. I don't know.
Or I know, Bunny. I know.
He said that in the chat. Oh.
You should go back either just watch his stream or watch mine. It buffered a lot.
All right.
I don't know if his replay. I don't know if his replay will have all the chats that kept getting deleted and all the nasty chats that he had. But mine primarily had that.
The split is real. Yeah, I turned the input up a little bit. Please be brutally honest with us about what is going on. There's much confusion, and the last thing we need is spin. Just to, oh, you know I am. I don't spin anything.
I think
I
you
don't
should
spin
because I
nothing.
can turn this down a little bit.
I want to make it clear, I'm not necessarily here speaking for 1776 RM.
What? You're not
There's a
speaking for
statement
them?
getting put out.
Then what?
So
Oh my god. Oh my god.
we're packed tonight. Okay.
If you're not speaking for them, if you can't say what the group's official position is, then what is even the point of your broadcast? That's what everybody's wanting to know. Do you not understand this? Everybody is wanting to know, okay? He's supposed to address this new location and the fact that this location doesn't really have anything to do with 1776, but he's saying he can't speak on behalf of 1776. So,
hey, Bonsai.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's my mother. Oh, I'm sorry, Buffalo wife. Yeah. How is your mother-in-law doing?
Exactly. What's the fucking point?
Frankie's words out. I can't disagree. It was kind of all over the place. He will. We're going to record something tomorrow morning, actually, I think.
You see, it hasn't even really started yet. And
so we're gonna have like tomorrow's the official, like, I guess if you want to call it a response. I kind of want to wait and see what.
I don't know if the
says
echoes could
tonight.
have something to do with me.
You want to take questions to tell your story. Are you
I want to try something, and I want you all to tell me if you can
I don't
still hear him.
understand.
Can you still hear him?
So let me move this one over.
Let me know
I'm
in
gonna try to
chat.
keep track. I don't want to slow the chat down, but how do you do that? So I don't know if I should start off with.
The echo might happen when I unmute myself. If you're not speaking on behalf of them, can you answer any of the questions? Like, oh my gosh.
No idea. Yeah.
What about now? Do you hear
I
him?
guess. So the first I heard about any of this was when I saw Frankie's first video when they were signing the lease or whatever. It was the first I heard of any of this. And I'm still kind of gathering information. I'm curious to see what Patriot Q has to say at 10 o'clock. But yeah, I mean, if you want to ask questions, I might not see them all. That's the problem.
It's the first time he's ever heard of any of this.
All the haters are here too. Okay.
It's the first time. So people who are on the board don't know what the hell is going on. Thank you, Bunny. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know. There were a couple things said like the, I don't want to be a hater.
And this is why people are upset, because their communication is terrible with their donors. Terrible.
I'm not exactly super excited about this, but I'm not really sure what to expect either. I've united the left and the right in under 5 minutes. You're in a unique form tonight. Anarchy.
I really need something stronger than this if I'm going to get through this broadcast.
Negative Windaloo. That's what I mean. Like, I wish we could have done the split screen. That would have been so much easier for the questions and stuff, because like the board is going to put a statement together, right? And it's going to come out very soon. It's tough to get us all together. So they're going to handle a lot of that tomorrow.
We have to wait until tomorrow for a statement?
But which movement? Q. I saw on that stream earlier that it was 2 different groups. I saw that it wasn't 2 different groups. I think you said something and Frankie said something else. So I'm downright confused, to be honest with you.
He's a member of the movement and he's confused. Imagine how everybody else feels.
I see yes for bombs. Excellent question. Dawn was out, Rose was out, Stormtrooper is out, and apparently now Frankie Bobby's out. Who's in? I didn't know Storm. What do you mean Stormtrooper's out? I didn't say anything about that. Yeah, so I jumped on earlier, and Frankie's live stream. Like, share, subscribe. Frankie's live stream was on, and I was on a live. Okay, but so then can you clarify, Q, if Frankie spoke wrong about it being 2 groups? I don't understand. I almost want to be like, if you're gonna chat, why don't we just do this? You know, it's easier. I jumped on and Frankie's was almost over, and the one that was really buffering and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up trying to go back and watch it.
You really can't see their chat very well, so I'm looking at it on my phone.
It was interesting because he was talking about the former 1776 restoration and a bunch of stuff. It seemed like it threw. I got so many messages and emails and stuff. It was outrageous. People just didn't know what was going on. You know. So I'm kind of like, for instance, he said the board knew, and I didn't know. I didn't know anything about that. So that's some sure he was going home for winter. Okay, lady.
I posted a message saying, if you're confused, imagine how donors feel.
That right there is like, well, what else is not exactly on par or was spoken wrong or whatever, you know? It seems like a lot. Yeah, and I asked who they were. He said he could put some names down, and I said right after that, who are they? If it's all, I don't understand why there's this secretiveness of it if it's supposed to be for the group and stuff.
Well, we know, very possibly Crystal and her kids are there, and then Mr. and Mrs. Q helped get the property.
Negative.
I like this version of AP. It's not so bad. Yeah, we just had a board meeting, so it's like I'm trying to figure out what I should say and what I shouldn't say, and I don't want to give anything away. Like I said, we're going to work on a statement and get it out there probably tomorrow.
He has to be. They just had a board meeting, and yet he doesn't know what he can say and what he can't say. Oh my!
You might make it bigger. Which chat? The one from Frankie? Like you want to go through that? That probably wouldn't be a horrible idea.
So is this whole stream going to be about how he doesn't? No one knows what the hell is going on. That's what this whole stream is going to be about.
Oh,
We're going over Frank and Bobby's chat.
I better listen.
Jesus, give me strength.
Is that better for the chat? I don't know how to slow it down. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So how do I do that? Someone give me a lesson real quick. Quick, hurry. I'm broadcasting through Prism. So I'd probably have to sign off and get back on the YouTube for that. So I'm not going to bother. But so yeah, I don't know what to say. Maybe ask questions. Anyone got a question? It's go to in studio, click on edit video. Okay, let me do that. Studio. Everybody, this is how professional, once again, we are here, that we're going to do this based on people's viewers walking me through it.
We didn't even have a game plan set up for what he was going to discuss.
That's a good question.
A controversy that was so important. And he's literally playing it
back tomorrow, I believe. But we just talked with him. Let's see here. Restrictions. I don't know where this is.
Do you guys tell me in chat if you can understand my frustration right now about how everything that they do annoys the fuck out of me?
Yeah, I don't see anything about slowing the... Oh, shoot. I don't know. I don't want to do this while I'm on here. Did I know about the signed lease before yesterday's live stream? I don't believe so. Customization. Oh, there we go. Live chat replay. See, live chat replays on. Ooh.
This right here. This is not how you resolve misunderstandings and controversies when you're trying to start an organization. You don't just have random people going live and giving their 2 cents when they're not even sure what it is that they're allowed to say. He said, "Oh, we just had a board meeting, but I don't know what I'm allowed to say."
Yeah, we're getting it together. We're getting pretty. Yeah. Anyway. No, I don't think any of that stuff came about until that live video was filmed. Like we were all kind of like, "Wait, what? What? 50 seconds? Should I do 50 seconds? How about 150 seconds?" Oh, whoa. Another one of my fans.
I think these people know less than I do about starting a movement and starting an organization. And I can't even say that I personally think that I know jack shit.
So
the fact that they know less than I do.
Until I saw the video from Frankie where they were signing the lease. I'm under the impression that no one else did either.
You're under the impression from the meeting is that not this.
Yeah. Thanks for coaching me. 1 message per hour. Crystal says she all right. Put Lolo on a little timeout for a while.
So
I mean, you can, I guess, yeah.
I want to clarify with everybody that there was just a board meeting. Being that it's a board meeting, the announcements need to be made publicly. So this is what we were talking about when we were watching this live stream, just as all of you were, and watching all this go on, going, why doesn't the board know about this? Why doesn't Santa know about this? Why weren't we told, etc. So there was a meeting this evening. It's a matter of what we are allowed to disclose without keeping within our boundaries of a board.
Yeah. 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 What she said. I mean, I can't speak to that, David B. Seems like that was not the case.
It seemed
So basically,
Everybody
you
on-
can't
everybody
tell us jack.
that I've spoken to felt like, hey,
hey
man, what's going on? What the
So
heck?
basically, you can't tell
About
us
it.
jack.
You know what I mean? To sum it up in as general a way as I possibly can.
That's what I'm asking in this chat right now.
Yeah, we don't kick anybody out unless they're just ignorant. You know. Still going pretty fast. Holy moly. Yeah, I mean, that was before the meeting, you know.
You confirmed that Mags today when I asked about Santa knowing, he knew. According to Miss Q.
Salty Buzzard wants to know, why are you live if you can't answer?
It's not, doesn't jive. I'll just say that. I don't want to talk for anybody else in the board meeting. You know what I mean? I had a lot of things to say prior to the board meeting, and I still have a lot of things to say. But you got to be kind of tactful. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of waiting to see what this becomes. And it's just interesting that it just all of a sudden sprung up, and you know, I don't know, something odd about it, that's for sure. And like I said, everybody in 17 was like, what? You know, if nothing else, it could have been handled much better. If nothing else.
I think we've already established that this whole thing has been poorly handled. Poorly.
The stream's going pretty damn fast. I'm trying to keep up with it myself. Oh shit. I gotta make it like a minute and a half. Jeez, oh man.
In America, believe so.
What?
In
Oh,
America, the question
that's
is
in the
the new
group.
group 1776 MP going
Those of you who came over from the Doe show, I tried to tell you that I was probably going to get mad. I tried to warn you.
to be asking for donations apart from 1776 RM.
I imagine. I can't speak for them. My question is, before I don't know if Patriot Q answered me or not, but he said it wasn't two groups. So how's that jive? How's that? Doesn't make sense. Got all the questions, David B. Oh, I don't know. I have to get a count on the homeless people. I'll have to get a count. I don't have a case against anybody. So I can do what I
everybody
want.
that is, like, confused. We're just as confused as you are on some of this.
I got a feeling we're gonna have more questions when you're done talking, Patriot Q. I just do.
There is,
Why don't you just go live now so we can watch since you're on here anyway? What's the difference? I don't know. I mean, that's just speculation, Nerds D. It's just speculation.
Laser Luminator said the biggest issue is naming a movement 1776 MP, knowing all those watching support 1776 RM.
Yeah, with the same cast of characters, essentially. It's, you know what I mean? You have to understand, Q, that this just looks not good, man. I don't know. I'm not going to speak to the future of these two movements, or as you say, one movement, but I don't see how that works. If it was one group, why would there be two names? Frank, I know he said that. Yeah, he said we're not. But I mean, it's not as if they hit the ground running. I let you let these people thrash us, the Patriots. I don't get that one, but if you don't quit that, I'm going to make the delay go away, and everybody can just start yammering.
Jefferson is asking, will you be on the board of both groups?
Me, no.
Okay, we need to clarify this.
Yeah, there's. I don't. Oh yeah, they're separate. They're separate. As far as I understand it, and considering I'm on the board of 1776 RM, they're separate. I'm not sure how you can jive saying that they're one group. You know, it doesn't make any. I don't know. And what was the point of Frankie's talk today if it was so wrong? Everything was saying he was wrong, and word salad and all this other stuff. I mean, yeah, there's a generous heart, sure. What's the motivations behind that generous heart, right? That's the question sometimes, isn't it? I'm speaking for you right now. I hope I'm doing okay. Yeah, I agree, Pickle. That shouldn't even have come out.
David B. said, MagAmerica's, it is reasonable and honest question to ask about the homeless when people are making the decision whether to donate to the group. Patriots deserve to know where their money is going. They do. And that
Exactly.
is what seems to be the confusion.
But people
Is it
always
seems
complain whenever you
Donations
ask
have
any
been collected
questions.
for one spot and been pushed recently for one spot. And now 1776 RM seems to have not been included in that. That's what I seem to get from it.
Hi, Lori.
Why can't it
You've
just happen
missed me
before?
yelling at the
Why?
computer
It just
screen.
seems like, I don't know. If nothing else, like the ball has been dropped. Something. Why did he go on there today and say all the stuff he said if all of it was wrong, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know, man. I don't want to be negative. You know, if the point of that group is to really be patriotic and do the patriotic thing, and if it's for the
I
right
do my best.
reasons,
Patty Van.
then that's great.
Assuming I'm the one that you're calling all the, maybe not.
But is it for the wrong reasons or the right? I don't know. I don't know. Right. I've been told 4. I've been told a bunch of different things. So 2 properties, 4 properties. You know, they just started this 1 week ago. If anyone believes that, then sorry. So that means essentially that there was some work going on for this movement during our movement by some of the members and stuff, right?
Oh, is it true that Santa looked at a bunch of properties and kept saying no? That's a very good question. Do you need another beer for this? Lori Arnold, I wish I had like 1,000 beers for this because I've been yelling at the screen since before this freaking Unfortunately, I don't smoke.
All
and
I
I
know
don't
is
drink.
too is earlier in the
So-
chat, we were asking certain
That's
questions
why I
and
have
just
this.
getting ignored.
I've got some Pepsi.
Yeah, in a gun range, in a restaurant, and a bunch of other things. Early. It's really kind of, I don't know, and I like Frankie Bobby, and I like
Apparently,
I like most of these people.
if he's so confused, the board is still
Not that,
confused about what on earth he's doing.
I don't know. It's like it was supposed to be this, and it's really
He's
not.
even having to be careful about what he says, despite the fact that they had a board meeting.
Is 1776 RM. We didn't. Again, we're going to come out with a statement probably tomorrow, but I didn't know about any of this, and we were said the board knew. At one point, they said the board knew, and at one point they said Santa knew. As far as I know, he didn't know.
So basically, we're playing a game here of
Yeah, apparently.
who is the biggest liar.
Crazy family
Is
thing.
it
So you
Frankie
mentioned
Bobby
before
or
Frank
is
Myers,
it
so
Santa?
Or someone
someone
else,
else,
so
or-
we're back to Ohio or whatever.
Is Santa, was Santa
It's
in the
another-
know
it's
and he
another
assumed
interesting
that
thing.
Is,
he made sure that the board
Hey,
was
Bob,
in the
man.
know
Pray
and
first, pray
Santa's
first,
keeping things from the board?
First things first.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, how do you do that, Curly? How do you vet campers before you let them in? You know,
There's
That's
these
not-
things called
not
doing
something
stuff
like
online
secret
and
to
doing
do. I don't
background
know.
checks.
you see people are going to come on there and give you their social security numbers. I don't think that's going to be the case either.
I mean, he kind of is. The best thing for you to do is kind of watch Lazy Gamers recap. That takes about 10 minutes. I would go and I would do that at some point, Lori. But I don't know if I should show it
Yeah,
just
totally.
right now because I don't want to miss anything that he's saying.
Getting paid. 776 RM, it's a business. Are the employees getting paid?
No, we're all volunteers.
What?
We're all volunteers.
We need something to donate.
Yeah, we're all
What?
volunteers.
What? How can you be
We're all
volunteers
volunteers.
if this
We
isn't a
don't pay for
nonprofit
stuff.
organization?
You know, it's just that we put an amazing amount of work in for no good.
So at some point, are they getting paid? Because what's the point of membership?
None of this needed happening. It should have been done in a board meeting, transparency.
Amen to that.
That's our point. There was no transparency with the board.
Not well. You can't just go out and do it and then say they knew. Not that it's up to us. Not that we need to approve it necessarily. That's a private transaction, I imagine. But to put- Yeah, to put 1776 name on it anywhere, or even suggest is wow.
I'm asking the question. At some point, will you get paid because people are paying membership dues?
Tomorrow there'll be a statement out, yeah, and I'll probably be commenting on Patriots video too, just to see what's going on with that. Because again, it doesn't make sense to me, man. Yeah, we didn't do a nonprofit, even though we treat it that way, because it's just insane the amount of work you have to do for a nonprofit.
That is true.
With the LLC, it remains a separate
There's a
entity.
lot of paperwork that you do.
Thanks, Buffalo,
and
man.
have
She had
to
a good
do,
day
and
today.
I've looked
We'll
into
see
that
you tomorrow.
before.
Day before that was horrible.
It's kind of different depending on where your state,
yeah,
what
yes,
state
Mercy.
you're located in, though.
He'll be putting a video out. I'm getting with him tomorrow morning to get a video out. He's going to run through everything.
People are wanting to know why AP is in
I'll
chat.
go on that, yeah. We'd have to all vote on that. It's just not a good look, right? I mean, I can't. Wow,
Reading Dark Scooter saying his name is behind 776 RX, which is an LLC. Who filed for the LLC?
right, Patriot
Answer
Facebook.
that or-
Well, it's not up to Patriot Q how we fit in. It's up to us how we fit in. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
One of the questions. I want to address something. The LLC. The LLC is created. Does anyone know what LLC is?
Limited liability corporation. It keeps the assets of the business separate from the person running it, or who owns it, so to speak. I've owned a few. Go ahead, Mags. Miss Mag.
Okay, so Santa owns the LLC. Santa is with his family this weekend. It's a Sunday. He does not have to work 24 hours a day. He's entitled to time with his family. We all saw this same video that you guys did and went, what's going on? So Patriot Q is entitled to sign his own papers and whatnot and have his own property. That's fine. That's from what we see. That's his property. And that's, so be it. The confusion lies with the board of 1776 and or Santa were not aware of these transactions with the quote unquote former 1776 members leadership. I'm sorry what Frankie said. So I think what he was saying was former, meaning they were the ones who were in Bunker Hill, the leadership. But the way he said it sounded like they were separate.
Okay.
Former.
Really, so why is there one? There will not be two memberships. No, we have a membership that information will be coming out either tomorrow or the next day. So the big news there. There was another question I saw. The logistics people did this. I understand who's involved. I know who's involved, even if he didn't say the names. I know who they are. I just wanted to see if they would put it out public. For some reason, they didn't want to, which is odd. I know that if we did something like that, people all around us be screaming, transparency, transparency, insurrectionist losers. Well, shout out to the whistle girl.
So, have we decided that this is the most pointless thing we've ever watched ever?
Video on here. I'll comment on it, I think. Why not, right? Do.
Trust me. Trust me.
Restoration movement. It's not DPC 2.0. Can't speak for anybody else.
Yeah. I get that, Curly. It's the way this was handled. They said the board knew about it. We didn't know about it. So why lie? Why lie? It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of stuff that don't make sense.
Make it make sense. No, you can't. Make it make sense. Oh, no. When you're talking about a cult, nothing they do makes sense. You can try and spin it like Wizzy and Santa, but it will never make sense. You're welcome. I deserve extra cash in my Cash App just for that song.
Donations pushed a lot in Santa's chat for the other movement. And I went, well, aren't we supposed to be donating to 1776? So I'm not necessarily saying that something's wrong, but something sounds like it might be wrong.
Let me ask you this. Is this funnier if I just mute him, and just sing?
I'll be curious to see
songs.
things like, for instance, the Facebook page for 1776 Restoration Movement. is run by one of the people, owned by, like started by, so none of the admins can do anything about it, by one of the people that's involved with this new group. So what happens there? Are they going to change the name of the group? Just take every follower of ours and change the name of the group to theirs, and now they have a group with however many thousand members? Or are they going to leave it as is? Like, what's going to happen with that?
These are the days of RM 1776. Or no, ups. I said that wrong. My God, I need to do my clothes
what's
better.
the deal with that? You know.
These are the days of
It's
1776 restoration.
True colors and all that kind of stuff. You know.
This is a lot like a soap opera, but yet we're not constantly talking about who's sleeping with who. We're constantly talking about who's a member of what and how many groups are there.
Don't have everybody in front of us.
I was going to give more or less my personal commentary on it, and then ended up pulling back a bit. Excuse me. And then ended up pulling back a bit. But yeah, we got 7,400 members in that group. What's going to happen with that group? And that'll be very telling, won't it?
I can't follow what he's even saying. Yes, there's been two groups, but apparently, Bunny, there's been
the page has ultimate authority.
There's been two groups for a while, apparently, and a lot of people apparently didn't really understand that. Frankie Bobby has apparently had his own thing going on for a while, and they finally just got tired of waiting for 1776 to approve a property. It was just taking too long, and so they decided to do this. Is kind of what was understood from watching history.
People in chat say.
But the people from 1776 are more than welcome to stay on that property if they want to.
He's been with us for a long time and put in work and did guard duty and all kinds of stuff. He's great. He is great, Mr. So what is it, Mags? Miss Mags. I Francisco Banderas. I appreciate that, but I'm not. What do you want me to do? You want me to kick out every single hater? I'm not someone who does that to people. How generous. What are the details? Look past the headline. Look past the headline and ask the questions. You know what I mean? Is it about?
I really
money?
want to know at what point they won't be considered volunteers
Is
and
it
they'll
about
start getting
control?
paid.
Very well could be.
I would want to know
I don't know.
if I was them.
Hear it from the horse's mouth. What?
There's so many people in their chat. I'm going to try asking you another question.
George Jefferson. Love that name. Oh my! You know what? If there's a couple people in here that are, I agree. 124 Nebraska. It is confusing the followers, but I didn't confuse anybody. Do my best to answer these questions. Like I said, we're gonna have that on here too. So we'll see. Can I just get rid of this chat on the screen? What do you think? I was using it myself, but it's so small, no one can see it on the phone anyway, right?
Get rid of the chat on the screen, then people won't be able to come back and watch it.
How come doesn't it set up that? I thought it did. Oh, my chat went away. Hang on. Where'd you go? Chitty chat. There it is.
I don't want him to get rid of it
Where's
Where's
the
the
board?
board?
because hopefully you all can kind of read it, even if you have to
This
This
will
will
lean in closer.
prepare myself on fire new members.
Thank you, Yancey. What was the first question, Keith? I tried that. I tried that at 5 p.m. I tried for it a little bit later. I tried for it at 9. I'm going to have Q's thing up here, I think, on mine too. I am trying my best, yeah. How are you supposed to deal with this? Yeah, forget it. Let's get rid of it.
The queues are supposed to go live at 10. Since it seems like all Maz can really tell us is that as a member of the board, he didn't know,
Everything's going crazy today. And we didn't even do anything.
then we may just switch.
We didn't even do anything. The heck?
I believe
Yeah,
it's going to be
I'm
Q
gonna have it on the
Express
screen, I
Media
think.
that I need to go to.
If I ever get the link.
Yeah, I believe it will have to go to Q Express Media. And I'll be watching for when they go live. And I think that I will switch over to there.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be 10. So we'll have that on here. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, this is a. Well, I had a board meeting, but I don't really know what we can say yet. Like, really? This is just. I mean, there are just certain questions that it doesn't just. It seems like to me there are certain questions that it's not hard to answer. You're welcome, Angel.
Okay.
There are just some questions that I don't think should be hard to answer.
So we'll have that on here so everybody can see it. We'll do some commentary.
Hey, do we want to listen to his commentary?
Make sure you got credit too every time. We stand, divide or we fall. But who's dividing, right? Who's doing the dividing, right? That's the question. Like, it's an organization. It's clarified. It's it's listed as a business because as a business you have more rules and more regulations and more trust can be put into you rather than one person.
I swear I start eating and my views go up. You all want to see here?
Yeah,
I
don't know. Who drug Carrie? Who drug him into it? Oreo isn't. Watermark, yada yada yada. He said he's going to be the only streamer, and there's no leader. Interesting. That is interesting. How's that work?
don't know if Lori's still here or not.
No, it's not dead. There's no way it's
I'm
dead.
just here. Jason.
We
We got
got
things
coming
coming
out.
out. Actually, some, yeah, real
This-
soon you'll see.
This is a family-friendly stream. Come on.
Yeah. Amen to that, CB. Amen to that. I think he's a good leader.
Okay.
I think Santa's a good
You
leader.
get time out.
I think we were all thrown into a situation that wasn't exactly something that we're familiar with, you know.
So we
We did the best we could.
Ooh. John Smith's time out lasts for 5
Who knows? We'll
minutes.
I
I guess shortly, right?
I might have to.
I'm
I'm gonna put it on and
this
just
week,
like, you know,
we'll talk
I don't
about it
know
while
if
it
it goes
goes.
5 minutes.
Hey, like, share, and subscribe. We got less than half the people here that like the thing. Come on now. What's the name of the new Frankie Bobby group? What's its lineage? Can you help me out here? The name of it is
It's not Frankie Bobby's group. That's what I'm saying. We can't clarify all their information.
I was just gonna tell them the
Just let you
name.
know.
Yeah, it's not Frankie Bobby's group. I
Okay.
understand it. I understand it to be 1776 Million Patriot March? Million Patriot, or is it just Million Patriot? I mean, you can think that if you want. Are you real? But oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I don't believe he is. I know that they had said that he was looking for one at one point. Patriot Q told me that if Santa, I'm gonna go look at some land, and if Santa doesn't buy it, I might buy it for myself. That was the end of it. So
Their chat cracks me
we're
up.
gonna be
putting
putting
Yes,
members
Santa
out.
is a good leader. I will
I'm
support
working on
only
touch with
Santa
them. We've got stuff
1776
confirmed.
RM.
This evening.
Yeah, he's a real great leader, y'all.
We just
We
got
just
some stuff like that this evening.
All of
so
this
we'll
happened
have
because
that.
of what a great
We'll have
We'll
that
have that
out
out
leader
shortly
he is.
tomorrow,
That's
probably
why
next
all
day.
this confusion happened. But he's a good leader.
He saved his life. Yeah. Do you believe that basement dwellers videos yourself? I mean, you were there. You can't possibly believe you saved their life. But let's not make it about you. All right, military police. Yes, I did, Melissa. We just got out of a little board meeting we were having right before this. The current board is, yeah. Right, Nancy? A lot. The current board is me, Raptor, Tom, Indiana Bob, Plumber B, and Alf. Freedom Outlaws, Cash Cow. Okay. I don't know anything about the Freedom Outlaws, to be honest with you. No. If anything, it'll help because now we know. You know what I mean? Now we know. As Santa goes. No. Founders are gonna have coins. I can give this information. Let's just put this out there for now. I believe what we're going to be offering is a limited edition t-shirt, access to the founding member forum, event meet and greets, participate in private polls, founding membership card, an actual card, not like a cardboard thing. Access to bi-weekly or monthly, we're not sure yet, question and answer private live stream sessions, and access to special VIP email addresses. There's also going to be other stuff like a challenge coin, a newsletter, and Santa and myself are going to be doing a live stream or a podcast. Yeah. What grift. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Come on, I need it. I need you to do that, or I don't feel good about
Why
myself.
you want any of your membership money to go towards coins and stuff?
I don't
What about you?
We're
My
trying
clock
to
says
save the
10
damn
o'clock.
country.
That's
That's what mine says.
So we'll have to get that on here as soon as it goes. I'm not sure Big D really has a title. No, Big D wasn't on the board, huh? Hey, Darth. No, Big D wasn't on the board, no. I'm going to have it on here, Laura.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Good to see everybody. Thanks for showing up. And it is true, we're going to be clearing the air of any misunderstandings, confusion, or whatever. And it's really that it's something very simple that has created all this crap. And that's why I want to make sure we get it cleared up tonight. We are going to do, I'm going to offer a little bit of what I have to say about the whole situation directly after Ladies First. Mrs. Q gets to do her version of that. And that's an interesting version because that version all took place here at the home front. None of that version has taken place at the property or Bunker Hill or any place other than being in touch with me on the phone or by live stream. So
I guess we'll see.
I want to make sure everybody understands that what Ms. Q has to say is from the standpoint of here at home on the base station. So Ohio Light, I'm not sure why you're disappointed. There's not going to be anything disappointing about the show tonight. And yes, you're right. Are you real? There won't be any bashing of anybody, especially my brother Frankie. Frankie will be talked about in a few minutes when I have my turn. But first, I want to let Ms. Q toss it all up in the air and see how it falls down.
Okay. Well, first off, don't be putting in a whole bunch of questions because we're going to talk first and we'll do questions later.
Right. Oh, I forgot to say that. Yes, there will be a full Q&A for as long as we need to make sure everybody's satisfied on the questions about the present problem. That's something we're going to do after we're done.
Mrs. Q is way too loud, and there's like nothing I can do about it.
So take your hands off the keyboard, open up your ears, practice your listening pose, I guess you would say. So, when you get to the end, you'll have your questions will be clear or not, and we can clear them up. Now, from my point of view, which, everybody has their point of view because we see it from a different angle. And as Q said, most of my point of view has been through text messages and, what I hear here at the house, phone calls, in person, whatever. So we'll even start all the way back at the beginning in June when
I don't know that they're real names, but I think this
seeing
is
how hot
Mr.
it was
This
at
is
Bunker
Mr.
Hill,
and Mrs.
how
Q.
hot it was sitting on that
Their husband and
asphalt.
wife.
It was Q come up with the suggestion, let's find some place to get off the asphalt. Get away from the extra heat, someplace nice. Everybody was in agreement, sure. And y'all have seen, the live streams and the videos of the different pieces of property he's looked at since then, and none of them were quite right. And in the meantime, when it came down to where they had to find someplace else to go because they were asked to leave there at the auction house, Christina was also looking for some place to go, looking from a prospect of a rent, lease, and Santa wasn't interested in a long-term lease. He wanted a month-to-month lease, and a lot of people who have, investment properties that they're leasing, they want 6 months, a year. They want something long-term. They don't want to do month-to-month. They want to, consider a guaranteed income, a guaranteed occupancy. So that made things a little bit tougher. and we were down to, we had to get everything off the lot because the guy said no more extensions. You know, we extended it 1 week, we extended it 2 weeks, and everybody was, well, what are we going to do? We got all this stuff. We don't have anywhere to go. So we made a decision that, you know, we would, you know,
We had a total of 4 offers on the border as far as real estate.
there was, and I'm telling this from my point of view, not from your point of view.
Good. It lasted as long as I could.
Well, yeah, I know.
So in other words, Mr. Q, shut up, because
but-
Mrs. Q is talking.
And when Q come home the other night, he said, you know, the extensions are, you know, no more extensions. We got to get everything off the lot. We got to get the people off, you know, Crystal, Christina, Jeff, Billy, I don't know who else was there. Whoever's usually at Bunker Hill, because I was, you know, I wasn't there. I was here. I don't know who all was there. So when Q come home the other night and he says, we really need to help these guys out. You know, they're not going to have any place to go. We have this really nice lady who has all this property, and she's made us this offer. You know, that, you know, we can have something with an office space and a lot that we can go to. And then she has this other piece of ground that she has, she has an idea what she wants to do. And since she's interested in the movement and she knows we want to stay here, maybe we can work out a deal. And he says, but she wants a 3-month lease and it's X number of dollars. And, you know,
Okay, right here, wait a minute. She actually wanted 6 months.
well, unmute.
The only correction I got there is she wanted 6 months, and we were able to negotiate with her down to 3 months in hopes that we could please everybody. I'll just say everybody and not name any names.
Okay, so Q and I talked it over. It's a pretty good chunk of change for us because we're, you know, looking out to the future with you know, our retirement and whatnot, and how, you know, we're going to make it through. And we decided that we would put forth the money for the rent for the 3 months, and thinking it would help everybody out. You know, people wouldn't have to panic over not having some place to put their camper or, you know, whatever. So they're, you know, not sleeping in the truck stop parking lot or on the street in DC or, you know, wherever people have scattered to. I know they've kind of gone to the 4 winds here lately. So I agreed. And, you know, and then from there, I saw the same thing everybody else did, where, you know, they signed the lease, and the gentleman was out brush hogging 7 acres that she has given us use of. All we have to do is, you know, clean it up, clear it up, put some sweat equity into it, gives an opportunity for us to have a quiet place, you know, where you don't have to worry about the traffic and people and so on and so forth. And I thought, you know, that's a nice place for the group. You know, if you don't want to be out and about, you know, kind of want to take a break, get away from things, you know, go out and walk through the woods, get a tick bite, you know, just enjoy the solitude. But the only intention was to provide for the group what the group need, what, you know, we were told the group needed. The group needed someplace. We were willing to, you know, go the 3 months instead of 6 months or month by month. And, you know, that way you don't have to worry for 3 months about where you're going or what you're doing, and you can concentrate on other
She
things.
is doing
You can
so
concentrate.
much better.
There's lots
at
of fall
explaining
festivals this
bull
time of
crap
the year if it ever
than
stops raining, and,
he
you know,
ever
people
did,
can be out there talking to people
in case
and,
you haven't noticed.
you know, doing like they did this summer, because the people at Bunker Hill they were a great support system for all the people that were down on the mall and providing meals and taking care of their stuff while everybody was down on the mall. And, they provided quite the service this month. And, our only thought was to provide a service. There wasn't any thought of splitting up separate groups. Yeah, we thought it was, we saw this big piece of property and the lady says, you can make a really nice campground. And, 1776 million Patriot campground. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Campground for patriots and like-minded people, and not a compound or a commune or anything like that. Just, a nice place for like-minded people to go. But that's from my point of view.
Thank you. His name
as
is
far as I
Maverick,
know,
and he's about a
seeing the
year
text
old,
messages and
and he
whatnot
likes
go
to
back
sleep
and
in his
forth,
stroller sometimes.
Santa was aware of everything that was going on. He even went and looked at a couple of pieces of property with Christina, told the one guy that he was interested in month to month and not doing a long-term lease. And so he was aware of all the activities that were going on. So, Q.
You ain't me to unmute, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. I get to unmute. And that was well said, Ms. Q, because it cleared up some of the confusion. And hopefully I can help clear up the rest of it. As Ms. Q stated, I think you stated, I was put on a property detail, you might call it, because I suggested to Santa in the third week of June that we needed property to make this movement be able to go to the next level. Santa fully agreed, to the point where we took a trip to look at what I thought would be a great piece of property, but also ended up being too expensive. And also the location was one that was a development area. So we were basically would have had to pay development price for that property. And that's why, even though we took time to go and take the tour on it, it didn't work out. The funny thing about that piece of property is it's still on my list because it hasn't sold yet, because it's way overpriced for the times. The good news on the property was, for the full month of June into July, all of July, except the time that I helped move the convoy down to DC when we took everybody down, that was one of my few overnight trips that I was able to make with the movement. And it was the experience of a lifetime. I wouldn't missed it for the world. And there was a lot of talk then about the people that from that point forward, I got to plug on the computer. Hold on. It's trying to die on me.
I hear you sputtering in and out.
Sorry about that. I had to get the light back on it. It was trying to go dead. But once we got to the mall, that was a good way to protest. I was not in any disagreement on that whatsoever. But I will say that Santa and I had a conversation on the pickup ride over to see the first property. That I'm hearing myself, and I shouldn't be able to do that. Must be another mic on. I'm going to give everybody just a rough outline of what Santa and I discussed on the way over to see the very first property back in, I guess it was the last week of June, right before the 4th of July thing. And
in my
that
opinion,
was the Santa asked my
so much
opinion
better
on what he
explaining
was
this than
planning.
Frankie Bobby.
And he had given me quite a bit of details on that plan at that
being mad
point.
at his chat for being
And
confused.
my only beef, you might say, with what he told me was that I felt that he was picking the wrong holiday. To me, the 4th of July has always been special as people of the United States to celebrate for that day the independence of our country. That goes all the way back to 1776. It's just like what's on the wall back here. Okay. That holiday to me isn't about protest. And I know I'm talking very singularly right now. I'm talking in a personal sense, but I feel strongly enough about it that I feel that everybody who is a patriot should feel the same way about that holiday. So whenever Santa asked me what I thought, I basically told him that I thought 4th of July was not as good of an idea as he thought, and that maybe he should consider taking it away from 4th of July and putting it on, say, just a weekend in the summer, or if you wanted to do it on a holiday. My opinion was that Labor Day was perfect. And Labor Day was perfect for another reason that we talked about, which was people, boots on the ground. Labor Day would have been a great time because we would have had the chance. See, somebody's saying there's a lot of echo, and I'm hearing it. It's like a sound thing going on. Ms. Q's looking for it. Thank you. I hate pigs. We'll just see if we can get it fixed up there. And YTCF, I would suggest you go over to Mags's and figure out how to get back on there, because he said he'd be here. I don't know if I've seen his name yet. Maybe he's in. I hope he is. But as far as Santa's plan for the 4th, I had quite a few things that I disagreed about, and it was for good reason. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on that because it doesn't have a whole lot to do with what's going on now, and I know everybody is real anxious to hear about the here and now. But we have to talk a little bit about the history, how we got to the here and now. And that is, as long as I was looking for property, I was in direct contact and in regular contact with Santa, either by text message or phone calls. So he had every opportunity to keep me in a loop, whatever loop it happened to be, as far as the goings on with camp. But I found myself learning details like time limits on a lot and so on from people in the group, not from the leader. What are we doing? Uh-oh, she's messing with my computer. Watch out.
You're making the echo.
I'm making the echo because my mic's on. Because of what? Oh, okay. That's what you're trying to do. Okay, never mind. Wait a minute. I get it. I'll take care of the echo here just a second. No, I don't want to leave. Absolutely don't want to leave. And I need to mute that. And that should fix it for everybody, I hope. No more, yeah, I can't hear it in my headset either, so that fixed it. That's good. We want to make sure everybody can hear. We do have a lot of audio gremlins in the house that like to mess around with our audio and do things that are unexplained. So I'm glad we was able to fix that one. But back to what I'm saying. My intention for this group, and I've told many people on the ground there, my intention for this group has always been a personal mission. There's been a lot of people that have asked the question, why do the Qs do what they do? Why do they contribute the way they do? And this answer is simple. It's one that I share with anybody that takes time to ask. And that is because of a life-changing experience that I had back in 2001. My mission is to always help others before I help myself. And when I say myself, that includes the lovely lady sitting beside me. We are, for the rest of our lives, it's a mission. And that's the only explanation for what we do for 1776 Restoration Movement and what's to come down the road. And that what's to come down the road is not a big bad monster like a lot of people are making it out to be. That is exactly what I've been explaining to Santa all along, which is we need to be able to branch out and make the group bigger by making more groups. And there's been many times that I've had that conversation with Santa that he agreed on that. He agreed on that to the point where he's made that announcement to the entire group more than once. So the whole thing about all of this for the last 24 hours about the big split, and we're dividing, and we're doing a coup d'etat on Santa and all this other crap is nothing more than that. It's all crap. And everybody really needs to stop if you're a true patriot. I only have time for true patriots. I don't have time for the crap. And I understand, because of this being social media, we have to deal with a little something called trolls. Let me clue you in. I've been dealing with trolls since 1996.
If you doubt
in
them,
America Online
you are not
chat
a
rooms.
true patriot,
There's
and you
nothing
are
new.
troll.
There's nothing they can say or do that surprises me, and that's why, because of our experience with it. So let that go on record. And as far as the people assuming things because of something they heard, the rumor here, the rumor that, it's rampant in these chat rooms simply because there are people being paid to come in these chat rooms and do exactly that. They're paid to come here, ask all the wrong questions, and see, there's one right there. Let me get over here. Laura, if you'd like to take care of Michael Hammer, that'd
oh
be
my
fine.
God.
Thank you. And I don't find any joy in booting anybody out of this room, because it's all about information. And see, Michael Hammer's talking out his ass just like everybody else has been doing for 24 hours. Okay? There hasn't been anything removed from Bunker Hill that doesn't belong to me personally. What has been removed is my business. There hasn't been any 1776 things removed as far as I'm concerned. So you can stop with the accusations. And Laura, if you want, it's okay if that one takes a walk. Not a problem. It's all about distractions. They want to try to distract people so that they get on their subjects, and the chat room goes crazy with all the rumors and everything. And it's crazy because I'm sitting here explaining facts. I don't talk about anything except facts. If I don't understand it as a fact, I don't talk about it. I don't guess. I don't assume. Okay? And you can ask the lady beside me, 36 years, whether or not that's true. She had me going there for just a minute.
That's true. I'll even unmute and say it's true.
There you go. Thank you. Now, as far as bringing it to the present time, it's exactly the way Ms. Q said. The way things worked out was it came down to deadlines. It was all about deadlines. The people that had the lot at the auction building made a deadline, and they were actually very nice to extend the deadline, not once but twice. And I know that because I was there when they did extend it both times. I heard them talking about it. I heard the auction house. We left with their blessings and their good graces. I was there to hear that conversation yesterday when Spider was the last one to leave with the last trailer load of stuff. And as far as where everything went that was there, especially the things that were on the yellow trailer that I had rented for the movement to use, everything went into a storage unit. Nothing has been disappeared. Everything is secure. So that cancels out all the rumors about things being stolen. Nothing has been stolen. There's nobody to steal. We're all on the same team here. Why would we steal from our own team? That doesn't make sense. Okay. So on to the business of what happened as far as Frankie Bobby's live stream yesterday. Well, today we'll get to today in a minute. But right now we're going to talk about yesterday, because I was personally involved with that live stream. And the reason why was because I was fulfilling a promise that I made to Santa. That promise started the end of June, and it was completely concluded yesterday with the signing of paperwork for a piece of land that belongs to a very nice lady and her husband, who are patriots. Number one, they're patriots. They fully believe in the movement, whatever it may be, that is patriotic. The name to them doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's patriots trying to help fix the country. That's all that matters to them. Okay. Now, as far as the land goes, thanks to Christina, I will give all 100% credit to Christina and Jeff for finding this deal. It was 100% them. I was busy looking at another piece of property farther west, actually the exact same day, which was Friday, I believe, right? Thursday, when I went to look at a piece of land close to Berkeley Springs. And while I was in the process of doing that, I had invited Christine and Jeff and whoever else wanted to come along, including Santa, to see what I was looking at, because it's a beautiful piece of property. It's still on the list. It's actually number one as far as being the next piece of property. Okay. This property that's going on now is just a beginning. It's not a complete project. It's a beginning for whatever the movement is to turn into. And when I say that, I mean it in all sincerity. There is no trying to take over something. There is none of that. I don't want to be in the middle. I've been placed in the middle of something very ugly, and I really don't appreciate it, considering what we've done for the movement without anybody asking, without other than Santa asking for a stage trailer, which I provided in 72 hours, record time even for me. And that's it. We don't have any connections as far as being for or against anybody in the movement, other than the fact that I love somebody that's a patriot. If you're a patriot, I love you. If you believe in the republic and the fact that it needs to be restored, I love you. That's it. There's nothing else other than that fact. And it's the way it's always been with me. And it'll remain that way to the grave. This hat says it all. And as far as that, we're going to get quickly into what has become my favorite subject at this point. And a lot of people are not even bothering to think about it while we're going through all this stuff. And that's these men and women that are being held without due process for over 600 days by our government. That is number one on the list for me at this point that needs fixed. And we have a solution. There's been a solution figured out, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But right now, I need to give it to you. I'll get to the rest of the story in a minute, since I get some bourbon.
I'll get back over here where my mute button was. I was just watching the chat roll by.
A little
I will
bourbon
say
put him
this.
off, apparently.
Big
Said I
Sweets.
wasn't allowed to get high, so I got to cool off a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, there are pages up on Give, Send, Go for, well, ours has been up for a while, but we also put one up for the campground. Now, I will say this. I don't care if anybody ever, never, ever gives a penny to it. That's everybody's personal choice of what you donate or don't donate. That's, your choice of what you do with your money. We have an opportunity here to make a permanent place for patriots. We've had the Million Patriot thing up since Q first went down to J6, and Nikki was talking about all the different pages for all the different people, and we thought it'd be really cool. We make a page, we put all these links all in one place, make it easy. You go to the friends page on millionpatriot.com, and there's our streamers, there's our there's all the web pages for Mickey and Randy and We Are Good Men and all those places for the J6ers. And yes, there's one for Mad Republic. There's one for 1776. Anybody that's, a friend will put their link up there and make a link page and put you on the link page. And that was the only thing that Million Patriot was for. So we just put out $3,100 for 3 months rent for anybody in the group who chooses to do so has access to the slot.
Okay,
where
you ready for the nitty gritty? This will answer a lot of questions that people have. And this doesn't have to do with, like I said before, it doesn't have anything to do with taking over anything, changing anything, or anything else. It has to do with a problem that had came up, which was it was very obvious to anybody paying attention that the movement was in trouble when they started staying in motel rooms. And I understand Santa was doing whatever it took to try to keep everybody together, and I applaud him for that action. But whenever it came time to move from one motel to the second motel, that was about the same time that this whole land thing was coming together. And I saw that as an opportunity to begin something that could help everybody in the long run. The key word there is begin something, because the campground is soon to be a campground. Right now, it's just a vacant piece of ground that we have to build on to make this campground. And then, okay, Yancey, that's not entirely true. Frankie was basically just talking with not enough information. It wasn't about garbage that he did or anything like that. Frankie is just as much my patriot brother as anybody else. And it is true that he did misspeak about a couple of things on his most recent live. And that is something that I'll be taking up with him. I know Christine has probably already talked to him about it. And I would imagine by the time you see Frankie Bobby on the live again, he'll be talking true facts to everybody's questions. What happened in Frankie's room there, I was in there also. I was watching. And what happened there was he was overwhelmed with questions and he started getting things confused. And I'm not making any excuses. I'm just explaining what I witnessed while I was watching. So if you hold Frankie, if that's the only thing you hold Frankie to, then you forget all about all the times that he's helped us on his live streams with everything, the downtown thing, everything at Bunker Hill. He was a great help at Bunker Hill for the people that had to stay back there while the whole mall thing was going on. So you might want to be, making sure you don't live in a glass house before you start throwing rocks. I'll just leave it at that as far as Frankie's concerned. Frankie will, I know for a fact, explain everything he had to say. So we'll just leave that one on the back burner where it belongs. Yes, Music Mama, the land is zoned for camping because the lady that owns the property has requested us to build the campground for her. And in the process of that, we not only are going to be able to have exclusive use of that campground for the people in the movement, but we're also going to have the opportunity to make sure, or I'm sorry, not make sure, we're also going to have the opportunity to gain more from the landowner. She's very open. Like I said, I was starting to say she's very open about being patriotic. Her and her husband are very patriotic. To the extent that the land has been opened up to us. The 7 acres is for the campground, but we've been basically invited into wherever on her property that we choose to hunt, to fish, different things like that. So I want everybody to understand the graciousness and the blessings that we are getting from this landowner. It's not just a real estate situation. It is a relationship being made with very important people. And I'm not going to bother going into how important they are. It's just trust me when I tell you they're very important people.
well, and
in the community, in the county, and even in the state.
and it's also an opportunity to engage in the barter system.
It wouldn't
Right.
be hard to
And that's
figure
what we're all
out who
about.
they
If we
are
can
by
barter
looking
with
at
something
the records of
instead
who
of
stayed
paying
in that
cash for
land.
it, it's just that much better.
That
And
may
that
be
is something that we've had
somebody
the
wants to do on.
opportunity also with the landowner. So it's not always going to be cash money. That's another great thing as far as comparing what's going on now compared to the lot that we left. Because the lot we left, there wasn't any grace period on the money. It had to be paid the day it was to be paid, and it had to be paid in full. That doesn't have anything to do with the barter system, even though those gentlemen that owned the auction house were very kind to the movement for a very long time. And my hat's off to them for that. Now, as far as the who's welcome, or as far as is there a split in the group, I'm going to be straight up with you on the way the conversation went. But first, I'm going to explain to you why the conversation went the way it did. No, Christina is not the landowner. Christina is a member of the 1776 Restoration Movement and our group, which is Million Patriot. So that leads me to, whenever we came up with the idea for Million Patriot, it started out as Million Patriot March, because I had that idea for years with that name.
Don't say that. That got us in trouble.
I'm not going to say the rest of it.
You said
I know where you lead.
you said the MAR word.
Huh?
You said the MAR word.
I know, just once, just to make the point. And I said it was that. I didn't say it is that. So there. I love it that she corrects me and keeps me in line. That's what she's there for.
And CJ, it's a barter system. You know, you exchange something for something.
Right, for goods, or it's favors for favors, or whatever. It doesn't have
But
anything to do
you
with
still
cash
had to
or
pay
a price.
3 months
So,
rent.
You know, that's what I like to get away from whenever we get.
It's along the lines of, well, you did this, and this labor is worth X number of dollars, so we deduct that X number of dollars. It's
Okay, everybody says I'm really unfair to people in the chat room, so I'm going to prove everybody wrong. There's somebody here that said you guys got scammed. Laura Crichton, I'd like for you to explain that. And I'm pretty sure there's about 360 people or so that would like to hear the same thing. Why do you think we got scammed? No, we didn't pay for the storage YTCF. That was paid for by the Restoration Movement. Yes, Nina, we do. That is in the contract. It is in the talks as an option now, and possibly a definite in the near future.
And yes,
that's the most I
David.
can say about it.
And yes, David, it's the question part of the evening.
No, nothing that LJB, nothing that Frankie did was shameful. Frankie was coming from a less than enough education. That was nothing shameful. That was just talking a little, what's considered talking out of turn. So it's not shameful. He thought he was helping, and that's all that matters.
Docs and Grandma, I guess there's only two groups if people want there to be two groups. Y'all keep wanting there to be two groups. There's just people. And if you want a place to stay, you have a place to stay. If you don't want a place to stay, that's okay too. You can go on with whatever.
The way Santa said it, and he said it more than once, is we need to morph to move this group out into bigger things, which is he invited people to go to their own states. He said we need to make colonies. He's talked about that. So this is just an extension of that. Nothing's changed. Santa's the one that said that this is what was needed. And whenever he said that, I put my real estate search into high gear, because it meant that I would be able to include more than just the one type of property I was looking for. So that put me in the mood of looking for multiple properties at the same time, and putting a time schedule on each one, where we might be able to pick up one in another 3 or 4 months. We might be able to pick up another one in a year, so on and so forth. I'm in this to win it, folks. I don't know if anybody is having a hard time understanding that. I'm here to be a patriot, and to be amongst patriots who love this country and want this bullshit of a government to cease and desist. And the only way we can do that is to end the Federal Reserve, or what's better known as the central bank. If you need to understand what I'm talking about, just go check out what Putin just did. He eliminated them. And he told everybody in the world, if you want to deal with Russia, you'll deal with our money, not the central bank's money. And that's exactly what the United States of America has to do to solve this problem. It has nothing to do with Biden or any of the other bullshit going on in Washington. It's none of that.
Interesting.
They're all actors in a play. And that play is being financed by George Soros, Klaus Schwab, and that's right, that internet dude, Bill Gates.
I can't believe we're
Okay.
And if you need any
Obsessed
clarification
with
on that, just Google any one of the three of them's
international
name
banking.
and find out for yourself.
Okay, well, let's come back over in this lane.
Right. I
Uh,
was about to. You bring us on over there.
David, he wanted to know how many homeless people are in the freedom movement. People who are donating to the cause deserve to know this.
Okay,
you
if
know,
there's anything other talk about scam, you will be booted, folks. This is nothing that has anything to do with the scam. So if that's what you have to say, you can just go somewhere else and say it. Okay? Iggy Moore, I'm looking at your post and anybody else that uses the word scam. Take your bullshit elsewhere where I can help you along.
Okay, back to David's question. We don't personally go around asking people if they're homeless. People have their camper. There are people who are with 1776 and, with the group that have been with the group since Canada.
Again, make it
So,
make sense.
I don't know if these people have a home someplace else. I don't get in their personal business. That's not my business. So technically, I don't. Well, if you spend all your time supporting 1776 because that's how you choose to live your life, and
Wait a minute, I gotta clear something up here. YTCF. Let me start off by saying what you're talking about is none of your business. And second of all, you don't have a clue what the full deal is all about, so you're speaking out of turn. So if you would like to stay in the room, you might want to change your little deal that you're going there about scam. Okay? We're trying to be as free and honest here as we can be, and we're trying to be as helpful as we can be
I kind of understand
what
why it
everybody's
sounds
confused
scammy to
about.
people.
If you want to sit here and cause trouble,
Am I
I
the only
will
one that
delete
doesn't
you.
understand why
There's
this
not going to be any
sounds
more threats
scammy
of
to
it.
people?
I'm just going to say it.
It sounds
It's going to
scammy.
happen.
It's kind of
So
weird.
if you want to talk bullshit,
It's a very
find another
unusual
channel.
field to have. I guess there's an
Go
actual
ahead.
contract. There's an actual contract that they've signed, but how the contract works is kind of weird.
There's a little thing called free enterprise.
Yeah, there is
None
free
of the
enterprise,
government's
but there is taxes on bartering. You have
Right.
to keep.
if you choose to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Well, if we don't mute because we sit so close together, we get an echo, and we both bad at muting and unmuting, because usually he used to sit on the other side of the room.
There was a time we sat in separate.
Yeah, sometimes we sat in separate rooms.
Y'all,
But yeah,
I've given you a
I got.
performance. I've
I
shown
know.
you my
I know
hat.
that you have to keep track of your bartering, your tips,
I think I
whatever. Unless
deserve
you're
money
getting
on
paid
here.
cash, you got to keep track of it.
Respect
You
the
got to have
grift.
receipts. So that's kind of a mute point, and not
At the end
something.
of the day, it doesn't really
that's
matter.
something
I
we got to
have a full-time job, so whatever.
a handle on there. No, not upset about not getting a piece of the Soros's pie. Just don't want some old guy trying to tell me how to live my life, so that we don't use up the resources that the elites want to use for themselves. Well, I don't. Proud Army girl. Proud Army girlfriend.
Someone just filled the chat with the
yeah.
word scam alert.
I don't know. I guess that we're all adults.
Girlfriend, you got to be the first one booted for not paying attention. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're just
Let's
going to
take
get
a closer
stupid.
look at what their chat is saying here.
Anyway, y'all rolling my chats fast here. I couldn't answer a question if I wanted to. Oh, there we go. Laura's quick on the draw tonight. Yes, David. We're going to try and the landowner lives on this piece of land because it's a big piece of land, and she has asked that we be very discerning.
Everything about the vetting process belongs to the landowner. That is not our choice. It is something we were told we had to do. It's not a choice. And she laid out the guidelines for that.
That's very
Which
interesting.
people will find out
She's
those
the one
guidelines
that wants there
when they
to
show
be
up
vetting.
at the headquarters address for vetting. And that's not a big secret. It's something that is already out. I believe we're not going to talk about it on the stream where the address is. It has to be word of mouth, simply to keep out the crap. We will not be dealing with any vermin at this location, at either one of these locations. There's just no way that it can
be
happen.
wrong, but I
And if
think
they
the
think they're
address
going
is
to
already out there.
get a one up on us, come on and try. That's all I can say. Come on and try.
But yeah, after watching the drama this summer that went on at Bunker Hill, and the landowner is aware of that drama also, that's why she asked that we be very discerning with who is on the property, because her home's on that property too. So it will keep it'll keep down the problems. Three? Hold on a minute. Three important.
Yeah, the
needs.
questions are coming a little fast.
The chat room's like watching the slot machine.
Thank you,
They're going
thank
to
you,
be highlighting
PJ
some comments, apparently highlighting some questions. That's
Open
good.
wheel. 3 important needs: water, bathroom, showers on premises. There is water. There was the original farmhouse was there. The well needs a pump put in it. The other things, we need to put in a gray field, a drain field, and we'll be ready to hook things up, put in a septic system. That was the word I was trying to think of. So, a pump and a septic system, and we're good to go.
Okay, that's it for the person who thinks they know it all. Not even gonna bother saying who it is. They're just gone. I'm sick and tired of somebody sitting around assuming my business.
Let's see. We're not taking the
YTCF, have a nice life. You were warned more than once. If you want to talk about my personal business, you might want to take that elsewhere too. That'd probably be a good idea.
Well, you can read faster than I can.
He's deleted him, but the comment is
Sean,
still on
Leach
screen.
field. We always call them gray field. That's why I couldn't think of the other.
Wait a minute, I'm going to jump in here, okay? This is something that has to do with being a patriot. This is something that doesn't have to do with being a citizen with a Social Security card, okay? As far as all this paperwork and stuff and all these legal things that y'all were talking about, for me, they only apply if I want them to apply. It isn't because the government tells me I have to. Just wanted to clear that up.
Well, there's always somebody who, controls your life in some manner. Your boss, your teachers, your, parents. My parent still controls my life to some degree because I've agreed to take care of him. So, I'm his caregiver. So what he needs controls my life. Nobody lives completely free.
Okay, you might want to check on Facebook user. They're changing the subject in a really good way. Oh, wait a minute. I better not say it that way. I'll be accused of grifting. And just for the record, folks, we ask for nothing from anybody other than donations that go directly back to this movement. And when I say this movement, I'm speaking whatever that may be. Right now, it's in transition. And there's a lot of questions that can't be answered that I know people want to be answered that has to do with Santa and so on. But you're just like everybody else. We're just like you. We're waiting for Santa to return. Once that happens, there will probably, I'm going to guess there's going to be a meeting. There's going to be everything's discussed and everything figured out. And until then, deal.
Sometimes the
For the
things
people
that they
asking if there's
say,
two groups, there's been two
I think
groups
these
all along.
people
Ever
are
since I came up with
borderline
the idea of
sovereign
Million Patriot,
citizens.
How's that? Is that better?
Basically, like they
We
don't
did
think
dot
that
instead of that M one.
the typical
Okay.
laws apply to them.
That's better. Okay. And that was over a month ago. And as soon as I came up with it, before Ms. Q built a website or did anything with any kind of donation buttons, it was all cleared, not only with Santa, but with Mickey. And the reason it was cleared with Mickey is because we included the J6er information. If you check the Friends tab at the millionpatriot.com website, you will see all three organizations are included on the Friends page. The Million Patriot, 1776 Restoration Movement, and J6ers. And that's where it stands right now. There hasn't been any split. There hasn't been any division. And people are accusing me of doing a coup d'etat on Santa's group and all that other bullshit. And that's what it is. Because Santa isn't in town, I haven't had a chance to talk to him face to face. So anything you're talking about like that basically is just bullshit. Made up crap. And some of the people in here that are making it up, you really ought to go check with CNN about a job. They'll probably hire you. Boy, there's one there. Look at that. Oh, we need to slow it, I guess is what they're saying. Thank you, Laura. I was about to get that one. That one can just be thrown out. Anybody that talks nasty like that, you don't have to put them in timeout or anything. Just throw them out. We're not dealing with any children here tonight. We're dealing with adults.
I don't know what happened. They can't keep track of when they've muted themselves. Oh goodness.
Okay, here we go again. As far as, if you want to donate, as far as I know, the restoration website's still up, still running. The links are still good as far as I know. I haven't checked their links or anything. So you just have to follow your own heart and your own conscience. And, I'm not going to, we do what we do because we want to do it. So.
Okay, great question. What is the vetting process? I just covered that a few minutes ago. The vetting process can be at this very moment. The only way to find out the vetting process is to show up at the headquarters. Nobody's able to do that right now because we don't announce that address in places like live streams. Okay, that's just to keep the security where it needs to be. We're not trying to hide anything. There's no big secrets about the vetting here. It's all about, if you're an adult, you act like an adult. You know how to handle yourself in a group setting. Just a lot of simple stuff. It's not a matter of anything that anybody's making up against somebody or anything like that. I love my country. That's right. No pedos. And I don't know why that's being singled out as a problem, but since you brought it up, you're right. That's a word that I've really gotten to be very sickened by since being involved with 1776. All of this PEDO. And most people don't even understand what they're saying when they say it. That's what's stupid about it. So, if you want to get my attention, you might want to drop the pedo stuff because I don't pay much attention to it anymore.
Georgia from California, Santa's a big boy. He can make his own decisions. The offer's out there for anybody that wants to come.
There is nothing broken down, Texas Twister. I'm not sure what you mean about things getting broke down. And as far as Santa being gone, he was off for a wedding that he's talked about for almost a year, according to the people that have been around him that long. I know he's talked about it ever since June, so it's not a surprise. And nothing was planned. No, there's nothing negative happening while Santa's out of town. This is, once again, you're just listening to the bullshit.
Well, G. Abbott, I
Will
guess if
Hippie
you can
Mama
make
be
it
producing
through the
adult
process, the vetting
content at the new
process, and you
camps
don't
and
have
might
anything
choose
that we should
real life?
be suspicious of in your background, sure, why not?
That comment's probably
believe
gonna
we
get
need to-
deleted.
The logistics people from 1776, you mean the people that cooked all summer and drove the food back and forth from Bunker Hill to DC, and the ice and the water, and I guess that's the logistics team that you talking about. I don't know.
As far as the Facebook page, from this I know, whoever built the page, whoever made the page is in charge of it. I'm not even sure who it was. I know somebody's probably told me at one point, but nothing changes as far as the 1776 restoration movement. This is all about moving to a higher level, not changing anything, not overtaking anything, nothing like that. None of this is a surprise to myself and Santa. We've had conversations about it. How are we going to expand what has been started as a great movement? It has to expand. It has to grow. Anybody that thinks it doesn't is, fooling yourself. We did the thing on the mall for 30 days. We got very little response, except for some people that were walking through the mall. We got quite a bit of donations because of it, which is all well and good. But the fact is, it has to expand. It has to be something bigger and better. That's the problem with a movement. If it doesn't
He
expand,
is
it
making
dies.
some good points.
Okay? That's
Yeah,
just plain
making
truth.
some good points.
That's not anything anybody's making up. So my involvement with the land deal and then Chris's involvement along with mine, we were able to secure this piece of property with her connections and my money, our money, mine and Ms. Q's money. That's all there is to it. There was no big secret. There was nothing being withheld from anybody on purpose. It was something that happened. And the reason it happened as quick as it did, let me cover how quick it happened. The reason it happened as quick as it did was because the way the landowner had it set up, we had a certain amount of time to make an agreement, to come to an agreement. And that certain amount of time did not include waiting for Santa to come back from his wedding. So with that being said, we decided what we needed to do as far as the movement, because it was already in flux. We helped along with trying to get this property thing done at the same time I was down there the last 3 out of 4 days. We also helped 1776 get moved off of the lot. So there is no division here. And anybody that's talking about a division is speaking out of turn until Santa is here and has his say, which is exactly what we're going to wait for. There is no secrecy here. There is no people working behind everybody's back. None of that exists. All of that only exists in the rumor mill called a chat room.
Okay, Pickle, answer to your question. I guess you would get a hold of one of us. We have about 50 ways people can get in touch with us. Give us your pertinent information, and we can vet you and tell you if you're wasting your time traveling from California to West
Well,
Virginia.
it's an easy vetting process. The majority of the questions are you a patriot? And do you believe in the Republic? That's the first two questions.
And what's your criminal background?
No, we're not going to go there. There's going to be people that'll be able to go there, but that's not going to be part of the vetting process. That can be found out easily without vetting.
Yeah, well, there's you have somebody's name and
That's
where
what I'm
they
talking
live,
about.
and you can go anywhere on the internet and find out arrest records and anything like that. So, if you're planning a trip, I'm sure you'll know ahead of time that you're planning a trip, and you can
Okay, there's
you know,
another one.
make plans accordingly. And we can stop with the questions.
Folks, you just don't get it. If you're spewing hate in the chat room, you're considered a troll and you will be booted. So if you have something that you think might be a little hateful, you might want to make sure you say it just right. I don't fool around when it comes to booting people. I will not allow any hate in my chat room. And it's obvious when people put stupid stuff like they're putting that it's nothing about anything that we're talking about. It's only about hate and try to stir the pot. There is no pot here for you to stir. Go away. I think I made that plain enough, right?
Yeah, you did. And
I love it when they challenge that, though.
well,
they
let's
could
see.
do a
Okay,
members
let's see,
only
David. Is
chat,
there a
and that would
question?
solve a lot of problems.
Will
like,
past controversial people be involved
people
with the freedom
can't comment
movement and
unless
be
they
allowed on the
paid
new
to join
property?
the channel.
Well,
A lot
I'm
of
not
these
sure what
guys
they mean
remember
by
they have that
controversial
option.
people, because we're all controversial from one point or another. Everybody doesn't like everybody. Everybody has their own little differences, quirks, or whatever. And it goes right back to this. And I've said this ever since the first day I met Santa. I'm interested in dealing with people that are patriots. If you're a patriot, there's no need for that question. Okay? That question, if somebody is out of line, it's called peer pressure. It's the same way that they handled it the whole time they were on the lot at the auction house. Just like people worried about the kids on the lot. There wasn't any worry about kids on the lot. They were perfectly safe because of peer pressure. If you don't understand how that works, you might want to look it up.
And the people asking about Bandit, it's no different than it was.
People asking about Bandit are probably trolls.
They're probably trolls, and 1776 had a rule about him. It's the same rule, so you can stop asking about Bandit.
Keith, as far as your answer for that, is something that you put up.
It's the same rule. What is the rule?
Once again,
That it's not allowed?
Has
that been the official rule? He's not allowed back? I think that's the official rule, but
You're-
honestly, I don't know for sure.
The name was when they were talking about the 7 acres, and having 7 acres is like a small piece of paradise, and it was like, oh look,
Whoa, wait a minute. We got somebody putting words in our mouth here. Leb PD scanner. I'm not sure who you think you are, but nobody confirmed anything about Bandit. We said it's time to stop talking about Bandit because it's irrelevant. That's all we said. So either get your facts straight or have a nice day.
okay, let's see. Yes, the property stores are close by. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, you think so, huh? Let me show you how drunk I am. I can find this part. I'm not that drunk. Watch. Oh, I already did. Cool. I'm so drunk I hit the button and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty good considering I don't even drink.
Well, see,
I have
Yellow
beer
Rose.
maybe 3 times a week. No, I'm sorry, 3 times a month.
Yeah, Yellow Rose, the logistics team. Okay, who was the people that was doing all the back and forth from DC? Let's see, there was Christina, Jeff, Curly, Crystal.
There was that family
Frankie
of 7.
Bobby.
can't remember their names.
Yeah, there were, people that were taking care of the people that were down on the mall. They were
No.
bringing.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, there won't be a fee for camping. It'll be for members. And there's no fee to be a member other than the vetting process.
I don't know, Greg, what do you want to use, an outhouse or a porta potty? I think we already talked about septic systems and leach fields. So.
Yes, we did. That's something that will be added in a short period of time. The first as far as the projects on the land, the first thing to be done is a parking lot, because there isn't even the only thing now is the gate and the road that goes up to the landowner's property, and it's a single lane gravel road. So the first thing we'll be doing is putting in a parking lot by the gate. We're going to be adding a few small buildings around that area, or possibly RVs for the time being to get through the winter. But one RV will be a security checkpoint. And that threw me off. The other things that can be done, we're going to be putting in a pavilion that will be able to, if need be, house anybody that is going to spend the winter on the property. It's going to be set up with bathrooms, running water, electricity. The power poles are already on the property. All we have to do is have somebody come hook up the electricity. And as far as the water well, it is, as far the landowner said, she knows that it worked as far as about a year ago. So the first thing we have to do is find it in all the vegetation that's grown up over the years. Where we're clearing land is a place where there was a homestead at one point back in, say, about the 30s or 40s, is where the original landowner had his place at the edge of the clearing that we have to work with. Part of the building is left, most of the foundation is there, and that's what we're going to have to work off of. So it's going to be a matter of developing the property, and as it's developed, we'll be able to invite more and more people in. As for right now, the campground property is closed until there is a parking lot and at least a porta potty, some kind of temporary facilities. As soon as that happens, it'll be opened up to the people that are taking the time to go through the process and find out. And it's not a matter of we're looking for bad people. That's not why we're vetting. We're vetting to know the people that we're letting in are good people, that we'd like to get to know. We like to know where they're from. We like to know, why are they a patriot? That's a good question. What inspires you to be a patriot? They're just simple questions to be asked along those lines, and the answers will determine if they are true patriots or if there's somebody trying to shoot a bunch of hot air at somebody's butt. It's just that simple. And this is, as people have already said in the chat that I've seen go by, it is a great idea. And I feel the same as the person that said Santa should have no problem with all this. And I feel that way because Santa has been in the loop on everything we've talked about up to this point, other than the last 24 hours or 48 hours. That's it. And it's just a matter of him coming back in town and getting together with myself, Christina, the other people that are part of this deal, and sitting down with Santa and his, what's it called?
Committee.
The committee that Santa has put in place. It's all about talking things through. And everybody's all worked up and in the air for nothing. There is no major change. All the websites that are posted on millionpatriot.com are great for donations. And the 1776 Restoration Movement website is there, as it always has been. So we did that website to give people a choice. Maybe somebody likes J6's idea better than they like our idea, or more than they like 1776's idea. And in that way, people have more choice, which brings more people to the original group, the original movement. And that's all I care about, is building people, putting people on the ground at a later date to be determined to make a large scene, exactly like Santa did for 30 days on the mall. That was ingenious, doing that, being able to sit there and occupy a piece of the National Mall for 30 days. It's a great thing to talk about. It's a great thing to brag about. And as Ms. Q just said, there's a lot of skills involved with this group. I've already figured out pretty much everybody that can cover anything we need to do as far as building, as far as septic systems, as far as drain fields and all that. There's people within the group that have that knowledge. So the more we can do that, the less we have to bring in outside help to do things.
Oh, Cal, I forgot there was a couple different Christinas on the first convoy. This is Christina with the C, not the one with the K. It's a different Christina, not a redhead, a brunette. So she was like a advanced person that went out and found places for them to park every night when they stopped for the night, is what she did. Let's see. It will might be if the airways are good for connections to be able to stream what to be streaming. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, my microphone. By the way, folks, all this rigmarole, don't forget to like, share, and sub. Ring the bell for all them notifications.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally.
Yes, it is. Let's have fun. There is the possibility for purchase. I could go into more details there, but I'm not going to, because it's contractual, and it's basically the business of myself and the landowner.
That's a good idea, Patriot. Yeah, there might be a leach field already there. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, there will be. It's whether or not we can use it.
Yeah, well, like he said, it might just need to be. Yeah.
It's a matter of finding a new place to dig a hole.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Like
that movie, The Shitter's Full. Merry Christmas.
No, Michael Saint. I hadn't heard that. How many live streamers are going to be there? Well, the campground is.
That's not a question we can answer.
That's not something that's been determined, because
one live streamer that was involved with it from the beginning is Frankie Bobby, and it's true. Frankie Bobby needs a little bit of coaching on what he talks about, which that's okay. We didn't really have a chance to do all that. So that's just something that's the way it worked out. It was the whole timing thing. It wasn't planned. We didn't plan on the landowner putting a window on the whole deal, which is the reason it happened as fast as it did. I understand a lot of people are saying nobody was informed. Everything happened way too fast and all that. That was just because of the way the deal went down, and because I made a personal decision to get people out of the winter weather, period. That was the biggest reason it was been done. There is no other crap that's being spread around. It was about what I told Santa I was going to do. I told him I was going to buy a piece of property to put these people on to get them out of the winter weather. Almost all of that has been accomplished. The only thing left is to build some shelter and make it peaceful and home for the people that want to live there. Streamers that are not part of the movement will be invited in whenever the people that live there choose to invite them in for, say, a media day, something like that. Other than that, there won't be any reason to stream there. There will be a set number of streamers that will be the streamers for the camp. And it's not a matter of who you are. It's a matter of timing.
Well, being in a campground is like being in everybody's bedroom, practically, or everybody's living room.
Right.
And, you know, if you're sitting in your own camp, oh, I unmuted. I am not muted.
She's doing it to herself now.
If you're sitting in your own camp by your own tent or camper or whatever, and you're just live streaming the people sitting there, that's one thing. But if you're out wandering around and getting in other people's business, that's, you know, something else.
Well, as far as Patriots, you're on a good idea there, but it's not just partially burnt. It's burnt. It's partially burnt and then pushed over off the foundation. So there's no saving the old house. That is just going to be a matter of scrapping what's left of the house and using the foundation for what we want to do.
RS Patriot, that's not really communism. That's called being a good neighbor. Do you want your neighbor sticking their camera in your bedroom?
And Mickey, as far as we'll be ready for winter, that's our job that we're working on to the best of our ability. And we are looking for more people with trades-like skills to join in and help. So the vetting process has already begun, as far as I know, over at headquarters. That particular property has been given to Christina, Jeff, and the rest of the crew that's there to work off as a headquarters property. It's close to town. It's easy to find. It's easy to get to. And I know as soon as Christina feels comfortable with it, we'll be releasing the address for it. But right now, you're not going to hear it here in a live stream where we aren't sure who all is here.
And, you know, the lot, it's, I mean, there's no set hard and fast rules for the campground and stuff yet. We haven't, you know.
We just signed a contract.
Yeah, we signed a contract Saturday.
Everybody just calm down for a little while. We just signed a damn contract.
I've got nothing against live streamers. It's just, you know, I'm kind of a private person. So, yeah, I don't want them in my face. I don't want them in my bedroom. I don't want them in my business, but that's just me.
Well, the biggest reason that we're going to be controlling, I saw somebody use that word, and it's a good word, controlling the live streamers. The only thing we're going to be controlling is what they do when they're on the property. When they're not on the property, they can share what they want. If they decide they want to give up the location of camp, that's fine. If they want to give up the location of headquarters and all that, that's also fine. There's already put security measures in place. So we're not hiding everything is to keep the trolls out. We're hiding it so that it can all be announced at the same time after it's figured out what happens as far as the 1776 Restoration Movement and Million Patriot. It's all about that. It's nothing secret. It's nothing covert or anything like that. We're not pulling any Mission Impossible stuff here. We're just, I'm trying to be as honest as I can with everybody about it. And, well, that might be a good idea as far as, you know, I would imagine if the streamers are doing it as a business, they should be taxed. So I agree with that. If you're doing it as a way to help a movement or, you know, like Frankie Bobby's not doing it for a living. And as far as I know, people like Stormtrooper and so on, they're not doing it for a living. They're doing it for donations in order to be able to keep doing it so that they can inform the people. It's just that simple. And the one thing I don't agree with is how some streamers make sure everybody's reminded of that little fact about donations a lot more than other streamers. So,
Yeah, Georgia from California. Yeah, it was. Well, I won't say it was a financial risk. I mean, we knew what we were doing. We agreed to spend
this
the
isn't our
money.
first real estate deal. That's all.
We did it to get the people had to be off the lot. They didn't have any place to go. We found them a place to go. They got a bit of a roof over their heads out of the weather, a place to park their campers or their trailers or whatever. You know, instead of parking in a ditch or over at the truck stop or, you know, sleeping on the street in DC or whatever it is people are doing these days. It's, you know. it was to give people a place to go off of the parking lot because they had to be off the parking lot.
Well, Mickey, I'm glad you said that because I'm kind of in the same camp with you. But the problem was, I'm here in Garrett County, Western Maryland, and Frankie Bobby's down in Berkeley County in West Virginia. So I didn't have any control over that. It would have probably went down exactly like that had I been down there instead of here. Just so you know, it is true that my brother Frankie spoke out of turn on a couple of things, and that will be fixed by the time he streams again. He'll be very decisive, and everything will be fine. There won't be any confusion when he streams about it from now on.
Laura Cancio, that's millionpatriot.com, the one that has all the links and everything. RS Patriot, yeah, they're allowed. We know Oreo, we know Wizzy, we know First Responder. Sure.
Yeah, and it's a matter of them going through the same vetting process as everybody else. It's not a matter of we're going to cancel somebody's contract before they even apply. That doesn't work that way. We're very fair, we're very honest, and in case there's a few people that haven't noticed, the Q's wear their heart on their sleeve. Okay, that's the most important thing to remember. Who's your Patriot, Barb? You nailed it right when I sent you. And we don't do that because we feel obligated to any people or any groups or anything else. We do it, as I explained at the beginning. This is all about a mission that my wife and I, Ms. Q, are on, that we've been on since 2001.
Well,
that mission is to give to others before we give to ourselves.
124 Nebraska, if you donate to people, that's your decision. That, you pulled out your little card and you gave money, so that's on you. I take it we're all adults in here and we can all make adult decisions and live with the consequences of our decisions, which that's what we've done and had to do. So, if you made decisions to live streamers, that was your decision. So you got to live with that.
Well, there's another one here, 124 Nebraska.
Yeah, that's who I was talking to.
Pretty hard to say when and where they can stream. Or is that a different comment they made?
I don't know. That might have been a different one.
Well, I'll handle this one. As far as when and where they can stream, we're not stopping anybody from streaming anywhere they want to, except the property that we are personally responsible for. See, that's the thing nobody's mentioned here yet. When I signed my name on that dotted line, I was guaranteeing the property owner that I would see to it that nobody would be injured, nobody would be abused, nobody would be anything negative here. I'm responsible for that. So I'm the one that came up with the idea to vet people onto the property. As soon as the property owner said that's what needed to be done, I'm the one that said, yes, that works. This is how we're going to do it. And Christina and I had a short conversation about it. We're going to have a lot longer conversation about it tomorrow afternoon. And then it's funny how they say a good night's rest solves a lot of problems, especially in the brain. Tomorrow is going to be a big day because I'll be heading back to the property. We're going to be getting started on the first project, which is the parking lot. And by the time I'm ready to stream tomorrow evening from down there with Ms. Q's help, we'll be able to answer a lot more of your questions. We're not avoiding any questions here. We're answering the ones that we're able to.
Ryan, let's say Santa says, thanks, no thanks, not interested, going my way. What happens now? That's up to Santa. He's a big boy. I mean, if he wants to go his own way and, everybody makes their own decision.
There wouldn't be any hard feelings. It's a matter of, he's the one that said it. We have to expand. People have
branch
to,
out.
People, he didn't say all. He said some people need to go home and go after their states and start their own movements. The only difference with us is we don't have to go anywhere. We've been here all along, and we're starting a movement to add on to 1776. It's not a taking away, it's an adding to. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry, I can't say it any plainer.
And I have to go back to 124 Nebraska. If a live streamer influenced you to make a donation, that was still your decision. That's, I mean, nobody held a gun to your head and said, this live streamer made me make a donation. I just had to do it. You know, that's,
Hey, Pete Patriot, if you're here, blessings to you, brother. Thanks for coming.
how many from the, I think it's an hour, maybe an hour and a half to DC. How far is it? Is that what it is? The Bunker Hill to DC, an hour?
About an hour and 20 minutes. G.
Yeah.
Abbott, you're asking questions that don't have any answers yet simply because Santa's not back yet. Those will probably be answered in the next day or two, I would say for sure. It's not a matter of who's the leader here. It's a matter of a group of patriots that are all trying to get the same thing accomplished. Right now, who's the leader is not as important as keeping the group together.
But
And
the leader
everybody
is
in the
what's
group is
going
an
to keep
adult
the
except for
group
2
together.
or maybe 3 that are, little ones. So everybody makes their decision.
No, Jack Abrams, it won't include personal financial information of any kind. All we're checking on, we don't care what people make. All we're checking on is if they're a fit for a patriotic movement. So it doesn't have anything to do with finances. This is the Q&A, folks. Go ahead and put them in there. I know they're probably tired of looking at my hand. That's what happens when you give me a touch screen computer.
Well, Aunt B, that's, people have to make their own decisions. And, if, we're culled from the herd, oh well.
Oh, sorry, Golden Chariot. I didn't see your question. What was it? You'd be able to put it back in there again. I'll be happy to answer it for you. There's not going to be any payment for spaces, Armada. This is not going to be a paid campground while we're developing it. It'll be that's the reason for the vetting process, to decide as we build the campground, people will be able to come in and secure a spot. Whether or not those people want a permanent spot to live there or whether they want a spot to stay there for a while will have to be determined.
Golden Chariot, we have a contract.
Yeah,
so.
it's already done, Golden Chariot. It's not a matter, the land deal is mine. It's not a matter of what Santa wants on that. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying it to block anybody out. It's just the fact that Santa sent me on a mission, and he made it clear that he was okay for me to buy land for the movement. It's also his agreement that the land would belong to me and the Patriot movement would use it.
Making it
So there's
possible
nothing,
for people who have been
mysterious
vetted
there.
to stay there? Question mark.
And I'm glad you're here, Dom, by the way. Glad you showed up.
Because
we want to make sure everybody understands what's going on all at the same time as much as we can today. We're actually a little premature with this show because Santa's not back yet.
And
so we wanted to make sure everybody stopped being confused, stopped with the rumor mills. I've been sitting here today scratching my head wondering how some of these people are coming up with some of this stuff that they're saying when they don't have a clue what it is they're saying. It's crazy. I'm going to make, next time this opportunity arises, I'm going to sit here and use my phone.
I'm just wanting
on
a
my
better
computer
understanding of
to
what
video the
donations
chat
are being used
so that I can play it back and show people just how ridiculous the rumor mill can
people
be.
don't have to, they just have to be vetted to stay there. I guess donations
There's not going
are
to be
made
any background checks to pay for. I hate pigs. I'm not
possible.
sure where you got that. Nobody's been talking about background checks other than the fact that background checks are easy to
possible
do for free on the internet.
to,
So
lease
I'm
this
not sure
place for
what's
3
this
months.
whole
I'm
thing
assuming
about paying
that.
for things. Nobody's going to be asked to pay for anything that's welcomed into the campsites. It's going to be the movement's property. The movement will have, as a group, will have the say over the campground. but we got to build it first.
I mean, it sounds like kind of a way of donations.
we
People
love
are
the
money
questions,
is
so
being
keep 'em
used to
coming.
help support
And the details
other
on that,
people.
it's all still be worked out. I mean, we just did this Saturday.
Texas tornado, you're really close to total accuracy on that one.
There were text messages back and forth to keep Santa apprised of what was going on every step of the way. So
G. Abbott, I know we're a little confusing. We're confusing you here with the phrase background check. I'm not the one that started saying that. I haven't said background check was needed. I said we need to vet people. As far as vetting people, I'm not sure where you're getting your monetary information and so on, but the word vetting simply means to assure someone that someone is okay as far as their character and what they believe and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things to vetting other than background checks. I could care less what somebody's done in their past. If they don't want to share that with me, that's fine. All I care is that they're a patriot and
You
they
should
care as
care
much
what
about
people
the
have done in
republic
their
as I do.
past.
That's the number two,
That's
one
how
and
Bandit got
two
there.
parts of the vetting process. As far as the rest of it, it's going to be up to everybody that's involved with the headquarters, which is me, Christina, Jeff, and everybody else that's there. They're the ones that are taking care of this part. I'm only speaking for them when I talk about it. And I'm sorry if I come across a little bit rough or like I'm
I think
mad,
people just want
because
to
I
make
am
sure that a
mad.
criminal
I'm not mad
element
at
is
anybody
kept
here.
out.
I'm mad at our government.
It
I'm
could be
mad at the people that
dangerous.
are
And if you
abusing
don't
our
do
J6
background
prisoners.
checks,
I'm extremely mad at people that come in chat rooms and say that J6 prisoners are getting what they deserve. And we had quite a bit of that tonight during the J6. And that's where I was coming from in order to come to this. So I probably brought a little bit of my hostility with me. That really gets me upset. Love is good. It's my land to do as I please. As far as I stay within the restrictions of the landowner, those restrictions have been given to me. And as far as my rules, no, it's a set of rules that are agreed upon by a group of people, which is the way it should be. Sam E, no.
when I filled
We're not
out,
just
when I was
traders. I'm not
temporarily a
sure where
part
you're
of the
getting at.
Facebook
And
page,
as far as the
it
fact that
wasn't
you're
very
even
hard for
asking
me
that
to
means you
answer
don't
the
have a clue
questions
who I am or who my
and
wife
get
is.
admitted to
You
being
might
a
want to
part
go
of
back
the
and
Facebook
check the
page
history of the
at all.
movement before you
Wasn't
start
very hard.
questioning me and my motives.
You're just asking a
And if
couple
you want
of
to keep it up, we can
questions.
also escort you out.
It's not enough.
Roads going in are beautiful. It's a brand new gravel driveway because the lady that owns the property has access to pretty much all the gravel she can ever use. So the roads will never be a problem. That was another one of the big draws for the property, was the fact of how good the roads were. Yes, MB, Aunt B, you're exactly right.
Gee, Abbott has asked an excellent question.
that is
So
very
someone can have a
accurate
40-year violent past,
about
even if it's the last year,
brother
and you will
Billy.
still let them in if they say they've changed? To express media, just their word is all it takes? Yeah.
See how it works? People that are up to no good sort themselves out. It's happening right here in the chat room. I love reading this stuff. It's called peer pressure. Remember, I mentioned that a little while ago. And peer pressure can happen in something as simple as a chat room.
What?
It's a wonderful thing.
Well,
I have witnessed peer
I
pressure at
don't
the
know why
extreme
he's
in a little place
blaming
called the
peer
U.S.
pressure.
Army.
well, people are going to believe what they're going to believe, and they're going to come up with some kind of narrative to fit what they believe. So
Can you explain that, Billy? Okay, Golden Chariot. I believe the loose cannon part and all that might be your opinion. It might even be a lot of other people's opinion. But I've spent a lot of time talking to Billy. I understand Billy probably better than Billy understands Billy at this point, and I see no problem. I see he has to be.
You understand Billy better than Billy
He
understands
agrees
Billy?
to be monitored for his past problems. So that right there tells me, as long as he understands what they are and he's asking for help to keep him at bay, there is no problem with Billy. And if somebody ever does have a problem with Billy, I expect to be the first to hear about it if it's on the property.
Oh, wow. Well, you're going to have problems because you're letting them there.
Sammy, I don't know what you're talking about, hiding behind a voice moderator. I don't hide behind anybody. If you would like to show up at the property here someday, we can talk about it. I don't have any need to hide from anybody. I don't do anything that needs to be hid. Yes, I agree. He did get out of hand, and it was all from extenuating circumstances, Nurse D. And that's all part of the conversation that I had with him. And he understands what he did was wrong. And so, Golden Chariot, that'll be up to you, up to the vetting process, the same as everybody else, brother. I hope you are. I sincerely hope that you are a part of it, because we need all the streamers we can get.
I can do that. God bless the USA.
Please remove me from being
Well,
a mod.
mods are
There's
playing
too
both
many
sides of the
mods playing
fence,
both
you know.
sides of the fence.
God's watching. I don't have to watch and pay attention to every single thing, because I know God's got my back. He's always had my back. And once you get to know me and know a little bit about my life story, you understand that a lot better. Mods are there simply to keep the obvious hate and crap out of the chat room. As far as people talking in code or trying to talk amongst themselves, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think you're right, Golden Chariot. There was a lot of rumors going on. There was just a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff that was a lot of assumptions. And I'm not taking a side here, because I don't do that, but I do know both sides of your story, and there's a lot of things about the way it went down that I don't agree with.
There was things about the situation of the family that he didn't agree with when it came to how it was handled.
Yeah, I was on the wrong account.
And the only reason we have more than just a couple mods is because we understand people have a life too, and we like to think that we can have at least one mod whenever we're on, because we really don't pay much attention to the chat when we're doing normal shows. We usually don't do the Q&A thing. This is something a little bit extra that we're doing simply because of all the confusion and problems. That sounds like a good idea, Linda. That's the first thing we're building at the camp. It's not going to be tent camping this fall. It's only going to be, we're going to be building pads and places for RVs to start off with, because unless you have a 4-season tent, there's not much chance of you making it in a tent through the winter in eastern West Virginia.
You know, I didn't realize leasing a place for people to sleep or stay was going to cause such a problem.
What's this?
What's what? But I guess that goes along with the no good deed goes unpunished.
Well, I'm trying to sort through all this in the room conversation, and it's a little confusing, so I'll just give up.
Yeah, okay. Wanted to get There she is. Okay. I got God Bless the USA taken care of.
There's someone calling themselves Bandit that is in the chat. But is that the
Alrighty
real
then.
Bandit?
Bandit, I don't know who you are, so I don't have any way to answer that. You're going to have to go through the vetting process just like everyone else.
And Faith and Country, we've had this lease a whole day. So not all the details have been worked out yet.
Not even close.
And as Yoda says, the future is always
What
in
a way to
motion.
answer that question. Am I allowed up in that thing?
We had a
You
pretty
know,
big
who you
discussion
are.
about even coming on tonight to go through this because of the lack of details. But we wanted to do this because there was a certain stream that started all this confusion and crap. And I'm not going to bother saying the name of the stream. There's no need to. But it was started by one individual, as far as I understand. And but by the time it got to be about an hour before our show, it was reaching a crescendo that was deafening as far as the confusion and oh my God, what are we doing? And oh, they're doing a coup d'etat against Santa. They're gonna take over his movement and on and on and on. We sit here and read it over and over and over. And it's really sickening to think that the majority of it is coming from adults who claim to have a brain. It really is. It's sickening. Where's the adults in the room, folks? You want to sit around and talk a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter? That's not an adult. Okay? I'm sitting here watching it right now. And no, I'm not angry, Sammy. I'm disgusted. It has nothing to do with angry. You haven't seen me angry, and you probably don't want to. This is about disgust over a bunch of crap with people sitting in a chat room that have nothing better to do than sit and try to cause trouble. And I've been dealing with it since 1996. So why the hell would I be angry about it? It's something I just have to put up with. And it doesn't do any good to be angry about something you have to put up with. Just saying. He thought I was angry. That's funny.
Yeah, he thought you were yelling too.
No, I was projecting my voice louder than normal because of a problem I have with my throat. So
It's angry to
sometimes
me.
it may sound like yelling, but it's not meant to be yelling. So that's just to clear that up.
But it's getting late. I have an early morning, so the brass tacks is
I think we covered everything.
yeah.
Let's give it one more round of serious questions. If we can eliminate all the crap for a minute. If there's any more serious questions about what we've been talking about.
Well, I think we pretty much got the serious questions. We're just starting to go in circles now. But
Troy, that's exactly right. And I don't have anything against people sitting in lawn chairs, by the way. It's just all a matter of time and space.
It was just a matter of they had to move from one space to another space because the one space where they were was no longer available. We found some place for them to go.
Which is what I said I was going to do in June.
And that's what we did.
And I found places, as we said before in the answering questions, there were places that were found that were rejected. And I'm not going to go into why. I'm not going to go into who. It's just the fact that I was given a mission, and until just recently, everything that was brought up was either ignored or rejected. So when it came time where it was a great deal with a great landowner and it was great for everybody involved as far as the movement, I made the move. I made the decision and made the move. And if it comes down to where nobody shows up for the campground, that's okay. I love it down there. I'll be happy to put my RV down there and hang out all by myself. Not a problem. Somebody did ask that earlier. I saw it. What if nobody shows up?
That's okay
Nobody shows
too.
up. I got a great place to camp all by myself with Ms. Q and a couple dogs. So, you know, that's the bottom line on it. It's our property that we made happen. and we're willing to share 100% with whatever the movement turns out to be. I think that's a pretty good bottom line to get you butt to bed.
Yeah, and all the people worrying about the little details, those haven't been worked out yet. It's only been a day.
Right. Give it time, folks. Just give it time. You'll be.
There's no way
I
the
don't
critters
think
would be
I've had
approved.
any
Come on,
problems with
somebody
any of my
actually
other
asked that
surprises.
question.
So
Seriously?
I'm gonna leave you with this. Trust the Q with his surprises. Okay? Enough said. More later.
What the hell are you doing? Is that wax color?
Yo, you gotta tell me when I'm muted. My goodness. Of course, I go down to one viewer the moment I unmute myself. So, yeah, basically that's about it, It's still a little bit confusing because it seemed like Mags America was talking like he didn't really know what was going on. It was a mystery to him that Santa knew anything about this. Apparently, there is 2 different groups. Both groups are welcome to use this property. There will be some kind of informal vetting process. But it doesn't really sound like they're going to be doing a very good job of keeping unsavory people out, because I was able to join their Facebook group by answering a couple of their questions, and I don't agree with a lot of the things that are going on. This isn't a group that I want to join. I just talked about limited government. I talked about how, to me, protesting is not destroying property, respecting people's personal space, which they at times have had a hard time doing when they're interacting with the Suicide Squad, or what they call the critters. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting what is going to come out when apparently Santa comes back tomorrow. This has been an incredibly long stream because we started out on Mags and then we switched over to them. I will say that I think that the Qs did a little bit better job explaining everything than Frankie, Bobby, and Mags did. But Mags apparently attended a board meeting and he wasn't sure what he was allowed to say. But the general consensus that he was getting is that it didn't seem like that the board had any idea what was going on. But apparently, if people with 1776 want to go and stay on this property that they have rented, that is fine. They can do that. How this vetting that they're talking about is going to work, Apparently, it was something that the landowner demanded. It didn't sound to me like they cared whether or not any vetting was done. You want to come, you can come. They're not really. It doesn't sound like people are free to come there just yet. They're not even wanting to put the address out there. But check Lazy Gamer's stream. The address might already be out there. And if there was a group of people that wanted to go and protest that property, there's nothing illegal about them doing so. I understand that somebody does live there, at least in the state of Ohio. In the state of Ohio, you can protest outside somebody's home. I realize that the homeowner also lives there. I think that they are thinking that that gives them additional protection from anybody that wants to harass them or protest. But it probably doesn't. The only people that I know for sure, because I don't know quite the names of everyone, but the only ones that I know that are with Frank and Bobby for sure is Crystal and her sons. But apparently there is some other people there as well. And unless I missed it, maybe I missed it, but I'm not sure if we got an answer from them about. It was such a long stream, y'all. Oh my god, it was such a long. And at one point, I went to go and use the restroom. Oh, Lord God Almighty. I don't know about you, but shoot, I'm gonna have to wait for Lazy Gamers recap because I'm just like, Lord have mercy. That's kind of my feeling about it. But as I've been saying, make it make sense. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Make it make sense. When you're talking about a cult, it probably won't make sense. You can try to twist it like Wizzy and Santa, but it's not gonna work. Whoa, whoa. Make it make sense. You can't. Make it make sense. You can't when you're talking about a cult. Night, lovelies.